Hey everybody, what's up? It's Tipping the Scales. We're back on virtual. Lachey Dawson.
Tania T. Rivers. What is up, Tippers? Did you miss us?
Man.
I really miss us because we were still here, but
I can't wait till we're in person all the time.
I know. I miss being in person.
Me too.
I miss seeing you every day. But how you doing? I know you've been a little busy, B.
Man, finally getting, I won't say some time off because I still have to be on my phone, still have to be on my computer, but OTE, we did our finals.
Yay. Shout out to OTE.
Shout out to OTE. Shout out to Dave Lato. Shout out to Asar Thompson, finals MVP.
Shout out to all y'all.
But yeah, just like a really good season 2 for OTE.
Yeah.
Really proud, very emotional. Hosted a lot of brand partners. Shout out to Kalia Copper, WNBA Finals MVP 2021. Came to sit courtside with us and enjoy the signings, and Tisha Pinachero. So
can I just say for a second how amazing it is to sit courtside? Like, it's a different experience.
Talk about it, T.
I did get the opportunity to sit courtside like twice.
Yeah.
At Barclays, watching Mikal play with the Nets, and it's like I don't ever want to leave. So, like one time he was like, "Mom, I didn't get the courtside. I couldn't get the courtside this game." I was like, "Oh, no big deal. Next game." I was like, "Oh, yeah, it is a big deal. Let's make sure we lock those in next time, buddy, because it's a different experience." And it's like you're right there. He can hear me talking to him too. I'm like in his ear. He doesn't respond. Like, Mikel's so good. He doesn't even make eye contact with me because I'm like talking like trash to people and all. He just probably chuckles in the inside. And afterwards, he's like, "I heard you." I was like, "You did?" He's like, "Yeah, Mom, you're crazy." I was like, "Oh, okay."
I know that you love being close to be able to see him.
Oh,
and just see him, like you said, like you just love watching him on the court. Talk about we talk about this all the time, but so what? It's our podcast. Just talk about how it is seeing him like just go to work. Like,
I wish we could have him. He's calling me now. I wish I could be able to loop a bit on the phone. Right. Let me just
it's our podcast. You can.
Hi, Mikal. I'm recording my podcast right now.
Hi, Mikal.
I love you. You did good today.
Thanks. So you too.
Okay. See you soon. Okay. Bye. He's lock in.
No.
Oh, that was too timing and too cute.
That's so cute.
But no, Shay, look, like I know you know this because I feel like we've been on this journey with Mikal together. It's like we like share him too. It's like,
I know.
You my baby daddy.
I know. I literally be at work like 35, okay? 38, 45.
So, no, like just to see him now, like being able to play, I feel like he's just like, I don't know, a different player. Like he's just so more aggressive and he's like not sitting and waiting in a corner waiting for the ball. Like to see him like more, like I feel like he's playing a 2. You know what I'm saying? Like I think he is probably playing the 2, and it's just like to see him taking a ball down a court and just see him like taking more shots. Like, wait, you got to hear this. Like
he's an all around. He's playing point forward. He's playing the 2, playing the 3, playing the 4, playing the 5. He's literally playing all out. You know,
it's crazy. So I have to tell you. So I was looking at these stats that they had tweeted that was on Twitter. It says, Mikal, since being traded to Brooklyn, more points than Tatum, Harden, Jokic, Booker, Butler, and Fox. More threes than Levine, Garland, Halliburton, Luka, Trey, and Herter. Like, that's crazy.
It's insane.
Like, yes, sir.
There was another stat out there about him being the only player to score X amount of points. What was that stat?
Oh,
in 10 games being a net or something like that.
Mama's got that one too. It is, let's see.
It's crazy that they just have all these, like, I'm like, who is in the back working and putting this out?
It is crazy. I send them all to my mom and my stepdad. Shout out to my mom. Hayden Tone, miss you. I took her to the flower show yesterday and she was like pumped.
What's the flower show?
Oh, it's like by the Horticulture Institute, and they have it every year in the city. And it's just an amazing place. They have all these flowers and you get to buy them and they set up these amazing little things. So it was pretty cool. Like I really loved it. And it's a good old time. Nice. I'll come back to those stats later because I have to find them. But yeah, I know what you're talking about. But he was like the only player to do it. Yeah. And that's just my phone's
crazy. Charging. Oh, else I would find it too because of course I posted it.
Of course you did. You post Mikal more than I post.
Of course. And you know what? It's the algorithm too. Like I'm not even looking for it. Like I'll scroll.
Oh, it sends it to your phone.
Like, you know, when you're on Instagram and you're looking at certain things. So after the games, I go and look at what, you know, he's done. So as I'm scrolling. Yep, exactly. And then also every single tipper from the live episode is now like obsessed with Mikal and watching him. So they all send it to me too, or they like tag me in the comments. So, you know, obviously they're OTE people, but they're just like, Shay, did you see? Did you see? And I'm like, I saw. It was great. So.
Oh, I love that. But anyway, it's just amazing to see. And more games to come. I can't wait for you to come down and hang out with me in Brooklyn. Like, go to a game and
if they play the Sixers for playoffs.
That's what it's looking at. That's what it's looking at.
We're gonna be turned up.
I can't even. Could you imagine?
We gonna be turned.
I'm trying not to get too excited.
I know.
But it's like, look, and I'm not gonna lie, that's a hard team to beat. Like, let's not get it messed up.
I'm not at all. We know them.
It's a hard team. So,
but we wouldn't want it any other way with your competitive ass and Mikal's competitive ass. So, in my opinion, for the chips to fall where they may, I think that would be real dope, and that would also be full circle. Would that not be a full circle moment?
Yeah. Speaking of full circle moment, I found it. Mikal Bridges is the first player in NBA history to have 25 points per game on a 50, 40, 90 splits in the first 10 games with the new team. So let's get it.
Insane. And also, how competitive is she? She did not want to let that shit go. So
I couldn't. It was not. I cannot. Do you know what this month is, by the way? Because I feel like it's a amazing opportunity. It's just a good month and a reminder of how powerful we are.
Of course I know what this month is. It's Women's History Month. Oh, and it was just International Women's Day. Yeah.
This past week. So shout out to all the beautiful women that are out there, especially all of our beautiful women tippers. Like, it's our month, even though we could deserve a whole year, okay?
I mean, we do have a whole year, even if they deny us. This world would not be anything without women. So.
Right. So I think it's a time for us to remember all the women who have been doing their thing and really just being trendsetters and all. I mean, we think about all the different jobs and, you know, the roles and responsibilities of a woman. Like, it's a lot. Like,
it is a lot.
You know, like, we're nurturers by nature, but there's just so much that we do. And, you know, I gave my mom a shout out earlier, but I just want to mention that when you think about amazing women in your life who has helped shape you to be the powerful woman that you are, I think about my mom for me. Like, she's just a boss in her own right. She's confident. She's no joke. She's a little bitty tiny thing. So actually her nickname is Tiny because she's like 5 foot nothing. And
Tiny Tony.
Tiny Tony. But listen, don't piss her off because you be like, all of that little sweet little lady, she turns into a monster.
Yeah, I don't mess with people who have
little tiny thing.
I don't do that.
She like, she is a fireball. You hear me?
Yes.
I don't know, mess with her kids or her grandson or her grandkids. Like, she gets a little cray.
They have mighty souls, so I know better.
Short little thing, but I don't know, just I've learned so much from my mom when I think about who I am as a woman, just that grit, that determination, those things that I passed along to my son. You know, that's something I saw really early on, just my mom's hustle. You know, she had 3 kids and was doing her thing, and she's just, you know, she really showed me how you have to roll up your sleeves and get gritty to get shit done. And I respect my mom so much. And so shout out to mommy. Hey, mommy.
Hey, mommy. Yeah, shout out to the moms. Shout out to our moms. We still have to do our mother episode I think that's going to be a good one.
Well, I saw Miss Lori like on Instagram with a cutie in her picture. Like, I guess she was on a beach somewhere. I was like,
yeah.
Who's that in the picture of Miss Lori? Who's that?
So we had a family reunion. And
I was like, is that a John she's posing with? Because I looked at it and I was in the middle of the night when I couldn't sleep, when I looked at my phone, I was like, leave Shay alone. Because I was going to text you like, there's a real John in the picture with your mom right now.
That's my cousin. No.
I was looking like, what are you doing?
We had a family reunion and we had a wedding at the same time. And so we were all just ourselves in Cancun, Mexico. The first time ever all my family has kind of been, not all, we're missing a lot, but most of our family traveled outside of Columbia, Missouri to be in Mexico to celebrate my cousin, Mahogany. Shout out to Mahogany, the Bakers, and Donald.
Oh, shout out to Mahogany.
It was amazing. And my mom was just living her best life. Like,
she looked
Lori,
happy. That's why I thought she was in a picture with a whole jaw. No. I was like, okay. He looked a little younger too. What you doing,
She has a man, but he wasn't there.
Okay.
we both traveled.
I got my eyes on you, Shorty. It was funny. She looked amazing as usual.
Let me find out. You want me to hook you up with my cousin? Let me find out.
No, I do not. You and my brother, you're both little shit starters. The two of y'all, I don't know what I'm going to do.
No. But what I was going to say is that I love being a woman. Like,
yeah,
it is so awesome, even when you have to fight. Yeah. Because when you have that drive and that competitiveness, I think you're a little bit more competitive than me, but I get it. I have it too, but it's not as
You're
intense.
Definitely competitive, okay?
But when people try me or doubt me,
don't doubt her.
Shame
on you. Shame on you.
Shame.
Shame. It's a bad thing. Don't do it.
But it's also like, yes, I needed that. So it's like, I don't want people to do that, but when they do it, I just level up. I just have this level of like,
I love that.
Woman energy. You know, like when a parent sees their child like under a car, you heard those stories when those women
hear me roar.
Like pick up the cars and like try to rescue. Like I just get this strength, this inner strength that I'm just like, man,
I love that.
God really made. And then I think about childbirth. I think about labor. I think about us growing human beings inside of us.
That's amazing. You know what? Speaking
that is amazing.
That, I have like just a real vulnerable moment for me. Like I haven't told you this yet, but I do have to get surgery and I'm really nervous about it. Unfortunately, you know, I'm sure everyone has been seeing so much like on the gram and the news about fibroids. Well, I have fibroids and they're very, very big. In fact, you know, it's like giving me a little poop at the bottom while my stomach is poking out at the bottom because they're so big. They're like the size of melons.
Oh my God.
And right now, like my uterus is just so big and like flipped up, like it's like up, like where it's not supposed to be. And there's no more room. So they have to come out. And I'm just a little bit nervous because, you know, those of you who are our women tippers, not even that, like, you know, there are many people who, even if you're not a woman, you're an ally, you can, you know, you have women in your family or just in your life that you love and support. When we go through tough times, you're kind of there for us. And for me, it's like something I've just been dealing with in silence because it's just been causing me a lot of pain. And, you know, it's just been hard for me, like just not the physical change in my body because they're just so big and like my belly is just so swollen because they're there and they're like, that's like been hard for me to deal with, just seeing my body change and I have no control over it. But the most hardest part of it all is the fact now that I have to get a hysterectomy. So like knowing that, even though I had no plans on having any more children, like everyone knows that, but just knowing that I'm not going to be able to now, just been really hitting me differently. And I just think about all the different women out there who had to go through and get hysterectomies. And, you know, so now, you know, I won't have a uterus, I won't have a cervix, like those things that kind of make me
endemic
feel like
to a woman.
I am as a woman. And, you know, it's just been really tough. I've been having a few tough months, but I'm looking at surgery April or May. I'll probably do it in May after the, you know, so the playoffs is over and then I'll do that, but I'll be, you know.
Okay.
Be tough.
Do you mind if I pray for you right now?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dear Father God, please be with Tania on this journey. I know she's been dealing with this battle silently. And we know that she's a resilient person, a resilient mother, a resilient human. But we know she needs some extra strength right now. Surgery is very, very serious. And just cover her. And we're with her. And she knows that she is loved. And just want to say thank you for everything you've done for us, for the pod, and just continue to cover us. Amen.
Thank you. Amen.
You're welcome.
Appreciate that. Prayer is a powerful thing. But I just know there's other women out there that may be struggling. So if you, at the sound of my voice, if you hear me, know that we are all in this together, and it's just the things that we have to go through. And as a woman, sometimes is heavy, but we unite as one and we hold each other up. So be thinking about me, guys. I'm a little nervous, but I'm happy to just put this to rest so I can get, feel like I can get my body back, and more importantly, so I can just not be in pain and get back on track.
Be 100%. Yeah. Well, thank you for sharing that with us. I know that's not easy. So
not easy at all. But it made me think about so those struggles that we have to go through as women.
Absolutely.
And this one struggle may not be your struggle, but I'm sure there's others. Just think about the inequalities that we had for a very long time, just in terms of the workforce and us not getting paid, and the pay disparities that we had to go through as women. And now we're trying to continue to fight to get on the other side of that, and then all the things that we have to do with different rights that we have lost. And it's been tough, but
it has.
We are built for it tough, and we will continue to overcome and step over those obstacles that get in our way.
And that's one thing about being a woman, is that we don't have a choice but to be the backbone, to keep going, to persevere and to be resilient. That's just in our nature. And shout out to all of us, man. Yeah.
Yes. Hey, women out there. It's our month / year.
Yeah.
/ decade. We're not stopping. I noticed that you got a different tint. Like, I don't know, your glasses are looking super duper cute today. Looking like a whole look at you. I love when you do that.
I know. I love when I do it too.
So, talk about them. So those are your different glasses that you have through Pair Eyewear. And look, we're just excited about just how great that we look and feel in our new glasses.
Yeah.
And I think more importantly, how affordable they are, to be able to spend $60 and that includes your prescription and get some amazing glasses. I'm all about spending money when I need to, but when I find something good, it's good. And if it looks good and it doesn't cost me a lot of money, I'm all over it.
Oh, me too. And I love when I'm out, I purposely will take the frames off, and then I'll clean the glasses, and they'll ask me about it. I'm like, yeah, the toppers are $25. The frames are around $60. And it's including the prescription. So I just get so excited. And then everyone's always like, oh my God, because I'm used to taking 8 cases. And I'm like, well, with Pair Eyewear, you can only take one case.
One. How easy
and you can
is that?
Change out your toppers. They have different patterns and themes, and it's just awesome. So shout out to Pair.
Yeah, shout out to Pair. And I say it all this time, the fact that you guys are doing some good and being able to, for every pair of glasses that we buy, that you guys provided to a child in need, that's bomb. And that to me is more important than anything else. So tippers, go get glasses that stay as fresh as your unique style with Pair. So go to paireyewear.com. That is PAIR eyewear.com/tipping for your 15% off. Don't you like a discount?
Okay.
So what are some things that we can do to continue to show our support to women, to continue to help each other? Because like I said, this journey in life is no joke. And the more allies, the more support that we have for each other is where it's at.
I think when opportunities come, speak people's names in rooms that they're not in.
Oh,
right?
I saw that. I keep seeing that everywhere.
Really?
Yeah. If you, that's how you know when you're able to make a difference as a woman. When someone speaks your name in a room full of opportunities and they break up your name, that's what you do. So I'm so happy that you said that, because I've been seeing that.
I'm glad that it's showing up over
everywhere.
I love it.
It's a big thing.
That's real energy right there. Yeah. So I think doing that, pulling other women into projects, advocating consistently and saying, you know, like instead of so-and-so, how about we do this? You know, and just suggesting that there are women out there who can do things. I don't even like to compare, but just like this person is good enough, give them a shot, basically, and let someone prove themselves. And I think the stigmas that women and girls have had for so long are being literally obliterated because we have women that are dunking in the game of basketball. You have women coaching in the NFL. You've got women reffing in the NBA. You've got so many things, so many barriers that we continue to break down and show that we are
shattering those barriers to get in our way,
and that we're
for
not.
Sure.
And someone had to advocate for us. So I would just say continue to do that.
Yeah. And the fact, I mean, I love that you brought up the fact that we're now doing things that people didn't think we could do. Like they doubted us, right? And we continue to show them like, don't doubt us. Like slow down a little bit. Like didn't think we could dunk, did that. Didn't think we can be coaches of men or, you know, we could do that.
At a high level.
Right? Like we could do a lot more than like, don't think that we can't do things because of our gender. Like don't misunderstand who we are and what we can bring to the table. We're powerful species and we're beautiful. And I love the fact that we come in all these beautiful different colors, all shape and sizes. Like we're just an amazing species. Like we're beautiful. Like just even the silhouette of a woman is amazing.
Silhouette of unbroken man.
You know what? It's a funny thing. My friends always hit me up. They're like, yo, Shay can sing. I'm like, she can.
I'm a faker.
I'm like, she legit can sing.
If you notice, I always do like just 2 seconds. They don't want to hear me a whole song.
They already know. They're like, T, you should just let Shay sing. Okay? Like when you guys are harmonizing, like, shut up. Like,
one day I might surprise you all.
It's just Beyonce. She don't need no.
It's only the low monotone ones.
Like just stop it, Tania. I'm like, okay, stop. Don't tease me like that. It's just not. It's not fair. You know, some of us were not blessed to be able to have beautiful voices, but that's okay. We still. I mean, look at the people who go on American Idol and they can't sing.
I would never.
Like, they know they can't sing, right? Like, or do they hear something different? Like, I don't know.
Sometimes that's the case. It's like, you know, like colorblind. Maybe they're just like, I don't even know what you call that, but
they can't hear themselves. They can't hear.
Tone deaf? Oh, that's what it is. Tone deaf.
Yes, tone deaf. Yeah. But, you know, back to the things that we can do, you know, Shay brought up some amazing points about speaking about other women in a room, especially a room full of opportunities. And I think other things too is just, you know, I'm not the best at it because I always get so caught up in just running the, you know, just life, like going to Mikal's games, going to work, doing that. Like I spread myself so thin.
Yeah.
But I think we can spend more time. You're so good at it. I know you know, just the time that you spend with your friends, and I've met a few of your friends. They're some amazing friends.
Oh,
They're
they love
just
you,
so
man.
sweet. I love them.
And
I cry with them, snotting it up like, you know, we were in Atlanta filming. I just spent some time with two of your friends, and they're just such beautiful human beings. And
they are.
You know, and when I think about like just sometimes just the cattiness that maybe happens, I always feel like I'm in a safe space with your friends. So I think that as women, we can, you know, just continue to knock down any barriers that we have of each other, you know, and, you know, sometimes we judge other women for reasons we don't know or even things that we hear, but we got to continue to keep knocking down things that get in the way of us supporting one another. And, you know, there's no place for jealous and envy. Like those are two things that I think sometimes also can be roadblocks to having successful relationships with other women as we think about Women's History Month and International Women's Day that we just celebrated together. Like, don't because sometimes jealousy and envy will get in the way. And, you know, we should be celebrating all the wonderful things about each other. And when we see beautiful women, we should be giving them a shout out. I compliment women like, oh, I love you this. I love your hair. You look good, girl. Like, I'm very complimentary. And I think
filling other people's cup.
Yes.
Filling other women's cup. I love that.
Yes.
And also let's shout out Nisa and Desiree, those two friends that were in Atlanta. And I say on the backs of that, keep supporting one another, right? Their support, them flying into Atlanta to support me, to support us means everything.
Both of them.
And I think that's one thing we can do is continue to support one another.
Yeah. I love that.
Show up, be present.
Show up.
Yeah.
That's huge.
Yeah.
Just being able to show up and show out for people. Like, we need each other. It's tough out here. And, I'll never forget early on in my career, I talked about this before, but the hardest leader that I had before was a Black woman that I would work for. And I always remember how tough she was. And she was hard on me, but not just like the hard, when you think about because I was tough on my son too growing up because I wanted to push him to so he could be successful. But it wasn't that. It was like she treated me differently than everyone else on the team. And that was tough for me. And one day, when I told her I was leaving the team and I asked her why, she's like, well, I just didn't want other people who weren't of color to think that I treated you better because you were of color. I said, that was just crazy. All I wanted you to do is just treat me the same, just don't do anything special for me, but don't be intentionally mean to me. When I think about that, that just reminds me how we can't do that, right? Like, no matter who we are, it's like, we gotta be better, right? And we have to treat each other with the respect that people deserve at a minimum. Respect should come easy. Respect is free. You think about the things that are free, like that's respect. Like that should be coming at the door. And I just think as women, we have to be very mindful and be very intentional about being very respectful of one another and how we treat other women, I think is just, it's everything, right?
Yeah. And it just makes me think maybe it was never modeled for her.
Yeah.
So,
it's true.
and also,
it's true.
I'm sure she had to fight twice as hard in order to get her position. So she was operating from a place of insecurity. And those are the things that women have to deal with that come out in negative ways. And so we have to encourage women to, like you said, find support groups or find people to help give you honest feedback and perspective so that you can be a good leader. Because when you operate from a place of fear, sometimes you can do very awful things and not intentionally, but because you feel like your back's against the wall, or you feel like you're under a microscope and you just want to do well. Yeah. And I've had bad managers as well. And I now have perspective on why they did what they did. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
yeah. And I'm glad you brought up insecurities because I think that's something that we have to be honest about because there are times where insecurities will creep up and how they manifest for each and every one of us can be different. Like mine is sometimes that self-doubt that happens, like the inner voice that comes in and tries to creep in and says, like, you don't deserve to be in this room. You don't deserve to be a C-suite. You don't deserve to have certain things. Or sometimes I feel like somebody's going to come and take it away from me, like I'm not deserving. And that's that's when that insecurity shows up.
That fight or flight.
Right? And it shows up in my life. And I have to tell myself, like, yo, you're better than that. Like, don't forget the path that you've traveled to get to where you are today. You think about those burns and those scars and those cuts and those wounds that you endured, but you endured them for a reason because you are strong, because you are relentless about achieving your goals, because you are cut from a different cloth, like you were able to persevere to success. And I have to remind myself that when that self-doubt starts to creep in. So my fellow women out there, when that self-doubt, that inner voice starts talking to you and it's negatively saying things about you or you're doubting yourself, shut that down. Because we have all traveled some tough roads and it's the things that we've done and jumped over those hurdles to get us to where we are today. So don't you ever let that self-doubt shut you down because you're bigger and you're better than that. Right?
Preach, T. Damn. I got nothing. That was amazing.
So listen, tippers, this is we love you. We know that, we're in this together. Please continue to support us. Please continue to follow Tipping the Scales wherever you get your podcast. Share it out. Share it with every single human being that you know.
Mm-hmm.
We want to continue to grow in this space. We love what we do. And we love doing it with you.
Peace.
Thanks. Bye.